to a lead yesterday. Dan Herron took full advantage to earn his first win since early May. Today, Taylor Jordan the center of attention, and a chance to author his first win and a third straight to finish the homestand. This has been a very eventful homestand. It's a long one that comes to an end today. The Mets are here for the last of four. And you go right down the lineup, pretty much what it looks like today. So the Nats, with those bats making some noise, they're 6-5, by the way, against the Mets in the season series. Now, we missed you guys yesterday. Great win for the Nats. Good to be back with you. And FP, I know this offense thing is an ongoing process for Rick Shue and his hitters, but it's nice to see some extra base hits and some of those 1- and 2-run swings now.
Yeah, there's been serious thump at the ballpark this homestand. When you look at the Nats, they're starting to heat up from the offensive standpoint. They've won 3 of their last 4 games, so you got to start somewhere. When you talk about the last 8 games at Nationals Park, 12 home runs. And how about the team in the last 24 games hitting .251 with 23 home runs and 32 doubles? And yesterday, good old-fashioned Tater Fest broke out at the ballpark, and you see Ian Desmond and Denard Span checking in with his first home run of the year. So a lot of home runs. Bryce Harper going straightaway center field. Dylan G not getting the job done. And that's what you'd like to see, taking advantage of the warm weather, and the bats are starting to heat up.
Yeah, Dan Herron was great. Then the bullpen took care of business. So anytime you are able to score some runs, I mean, get 4, it's almost a guaranteed W. And today, a kind of an interesting pitching matchup, a 30-year-old versus a 20-year-old in Taylor Jordan. So a guy mostly in the bullpen, and then our guy still looking for his first win.
Yeah, Taylor Jordan last time out. Numbers didn't indicate how well he pitched. 18 of his 23 outs coming via the ground ball. So a guy that's starting to become a little bit more comfortable with that sinker, slider, changeup combination, and I'm looking forward to him against the Mets today.
Carlos Torres is 30 years of age. He's making his 3rd start. He's been a bullpen guy. Has actually appeared against the Nats, but in 2 starts, 0.94. And for Taylor, 0-3 with a 3.68. It's time for the guys to get him that first big league W. Masson, brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by Hyundai. New thinking, new possibilities. Comfortable day at the ballpark. Cloud cover. It's going to be nice. The ball could be carrying as well as the Mets and the Nats get together for the 12th time this year and the 4th time in this series. The Nats lead 6-5 and 3 out of 5 here. Humidity up a little bit, 81 degrees at the ballpark as Train celebrates its 100th anniversary by offering irresistible financing. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. The Mets have David Wright out of their lineup today. He's getting a day off. So Daniel Murphy will bat third in front of the former Nat, Marlon Byrd. Now Byrd on the road really slugging. Overall, he's at .508, and that's 9th in the National League. And you know Daniel Murphy loves hitting in front of David Wright as a rule, 7 of 13 in this series. Taylor Jordan has appeared against the Mets. So at least now getting to the point where he's starting to repeat against a team. He made his debut at New York on June 29th, and FP pitched pretty well. Didn't quite make it through 5, but he only gave up 1 earned run.
He did. He pitched pretty well last time out. Better than the numbers indicated. Gave up 5 runs, 4 earned on 9 hits Tuesday against the Pirates. Struck out 4, walked 1. Through 99 pitches, 74 of those for strikes. And like we said in the open, 18 of his 23 outs came via the ground ball. So two-seam fastball, slider change for the Mets today from Taylor Jordan. Set the defense for the Nats behind. Jordan Harper, Span, Worth, your outfield. Desmond Zimmerman left side. Rendon LaRoche right side. And Wilson Ramos behind the dish.
Third-year veteran Vic Carapazza has the plate. Wally Bell is the crew chief, 21st year. Kerwin Danley at second base, his 17th, and Lance Barksdale at third, his 10th. Veteran crew out there. Junior member has the plate today. Davey Johnson's ball club back to within 3 of 500 now with 2 consecutive wins. The Nats have won 30 at home. They're 30 and 25 thanks to Friday night and yesterday. Here's Eric Young. 1 for 4 in the series. Finally got in the Mets lineup yesterday. He's been banged up a bit. Went 1 for 4. Scored a run. And he's 0 for 3 against Taylor Jordan. 5 hitters in the Mets lineup batted against Taylor at the end of June at Citi Field. First pitch of the game, Tails low and outside. We're underway at 1:37. Mets are 46 and 55. They're now 3 games back of the Nats, with Washington winning a couple, and Jordan leaves that one outside, 2-0. Ball 3, just outside. That one a little closer. Jordan's had good control numbers. Only 4 walks in 29 innings. He has struck out 14. '89 took a little bit off and got it outer half.
Well, I think when you're catching Taylor Jordan, he's got so much run on that two-seam fastball. If you're Wilson Ramos, you really have to just set up right down the middle and let that thing work.
And the count is full to Eric Young.
He starts setting up on corners for a guy that got that much run. It's going to be tough to keep in the strike zone. Look at Eric Young Jr. trying to show bunt right there. Get ball 4. Didn't get the call.
3-2 on Young, who came over from the Rockies after they DFA'd him. And he will foul one straight back. In the division, Phillies are not only playing out of the division, out of the league. They have a 1-run lead at Detroit early. Don't need to keep an eye on the Braves. They don't play till tonight.
Phillies have lost 7 in a row.
Yeah, they have. 10 out. And a ball flied to left for Bryce Harper.
That's a nice 3-0 comeback to get the leadoff man out by Taylor Jordan.
Good job by the pitcher, and let's get an update from Julie regarding pitching.
Hey guys, well, pitching coach Steve McCatty wasn't feeling so great, and David Johnson just told me that about a half an hour ago he went to the hospital. So our thoughts and prayers are with him. He will not be here for the rest of the game.
We will let you know something when we hear something, and we wish Steve McCatty our very best. That's one of the best men we've run into in this organization ever. Josh Satin gets the start at third base, replacing David Wright. He bats second, and then Murphy is third. In this series, Josh is 1 for 6. He's 1 for 2 career against Taylor Jordan. That's that high riding fastball, a good one at 91, and the count's 2-1. Target's in. And there's Daniel Murphy, who's been on base in this series 8 times. And he's riding a pretty healthy 7-game hitting streak. We'll tell you about that when he gets in there. Two balls and 2 strikes. Mets are playing in their 103rd game of the year. David Wright has played in 100 of them with 386 at bats, and not in the lineup today. He's kind of like their Ian Desmond when it comes to being an Iron Man on their infield. That's interesting. He and Davey have managed 81 games against each other. That's in there. So Taylor Jordan has fallen behind the first 2 batters and come back very impressively to get 2 outs.
And Josh Satin, a guy that's tough to strike out. And last time out for Taylor Jordan, it was the slider that was his best pitch. Usually when you think of Jordan, you think of that above-average changeup that he has. But the slider out in front, good location, gets Josh Satin looking. Good pitch.
And in comes Murphy against Taylor Jordan. First time they matched up. Daniel 2 for 3 against him. He's hitting everybody right now. 14 for 28 over a 7-game hitting streak. Boy, that is wicked down and away movement with that changeup.
Yeah, when he ever gets that thing out in front on top of it, there's that late dip to it, almost like a split finger.
'94, just away, 2-1.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. When Wilson Ramos sits to a corner with that 2-seamer, now if you're throwing to that target, it's going to run off the plate away. Sometimes with a guy with a good sinker, you just got to set up right down the middle and let the pitch take care of itself.
That changeup a little harder than the previous one. Murphy is 5th in the league in hits with 119. He's hitting .310 on the road. And on a pitch away, he just bangs it to left, and Bryce Harper comes in to grab it. Well struck, well caught, and a good first inning for the rookie, Taylor Jordan. Jordan, 18 pitches, 10 strikes. So his day's off to a good start. Folks are still coming in. We'll have a nice crowd here, as usual. And the Nats starting lineup brought to you by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Denard Span finally went deep yesterday, and he went over the scoreboard. He didn't go for the short wall down the line, but it's good to see him swinging the bat. He is hitting right-handers this year. He's doing quite well here at home. That was his only hit of this series so far, but it was a big one for the Nats yesterday. Rendon is in there. Wilson Ramos in the 8th spot. Carlos Torres, career 7-7, 56 games, only 8 major league starts. So the Mets are giving him a go as a starter here at the age of 30. Time in the big leagues previously with the White Sox and the Rockies.
And last start on July 23rd at Citi Field against the Braves. He got the 4-1 win, gave up just 1 run on 7 hits over 6 innings, struck out 6, walked 1. Through 96 pitches, 65 of those for strikes. So fastball, 37%, cutter, 44%, curveball change to go with it. He throws lots of cutters. And he was living on the edge against the Braves last time. They hit him hard.
And a strike to Bryce Harper, who has not faced him.
He allowed a leadoff home run last time out to Andrelton Simmons, and that was it. But like I said, a lot of hard hit balls by the Atlanta Braves, and they didn't have a whole lot to show for it.
And he pitched 7 innings, only gave them 1 hit and 1 run. That was crazy. Walked a couple, but struck out 6. Harper will ground that one to Daniel Murphy. Torres evidently is hard to pick up during the day. 1.45 ERA.
Well, it's better than being hard to pick up at night. Young Lagares Bird in the outfield. Quintanilla Satin left side, Murphy Davis right side, and John Buck behind the dish.
They always told me on TV, nothing wrong with a little dead air here and there.
Goodness. Let that marinate for a while.
Here's Rendon. Anthony Rendon is 0 for 8 in this series. 0 for 1 against Torres in the time they matched up. It's a breaking ball. Upstairs a little bit, center cut. Anthony fouled it back. When he's locked in, I could picture that one heading straight for the scoreboard. Sun blazing now after real cloudy conditions to start the game. Things are clearing up here.
Hey, look at Torres' delivery. He almost starts in the stretch and then goes to the windup.
Wow. He gets that call, he'll be pretty tough. That was appeared to be a tight slider right at the knees on the outside edge. 2 outs.
Well, that's the cutter right there, and it starts on the plate and just runs to a corner and just gets the bottom left corner of the strike zone, 88 miles an hour, and Anthony Rendon can just watch as Carlos Torres places a perfect cutter on the outer half for strike 3.
Here's Ryan Zimmerman. Ryan's battled back to have a good series, even though he went 0 for 4 yesterday, 4 for 12. And the home run. That's a busted bat and a ball in center. Coming in, Lagares, and he drops it. Not an easy play, full run, looking right into the sun. And it hit part of his glove. Zimmerman's aboard. I think they're going to give him a hit on that, and they do. There's a lot of elements for a center fielder on that play. At this time of the day, FP, we've seen it before.
Yeah, you see Ryan Zimmerman with the bat kind of halfway in his hand right there. Lagares, who's caught everything this whole series, gives it a good go. Good effort right there. Ball hits him on the heel in a full-on sprint for the baseball, and Ryan Zimmerman will take it, and there goes a no-hitter.
Mets go into a shift with Adam LaRoche. They have pitched him well in this series. Adam 0 for 10. And that is for Eric Young. Innings over. And the Nats get a base hit. Strand Zimmerman, no score early. Double, get your second room of flooring free at 877-241-LUNA. The Nats are averaging 33,669 per game here at this beautiful ballpark. Sixth highest average attendance in the National League. And we're going top two with Bird, Davis, and Buck coming in for the Mets. Let's go inside the numbers with STG. So when the Nats beat the Mets, it tends to be lopsided. When they lose, the Mets have totally shut them down. What a contrast.
Feast and famine.
Look at the runners in scoring position in the wins. Here's Bird, the former Net, 2 for 12 with an RBI and a walk in this series. And Taylor Jordan gets that low strike. Get ahead, you've got a guy reaching, and then quickly 0-2.
We saw that last time out from Jordan. A little cut to that fastball away to righties at times.
Marlon Byrd is 1 RBI out of the top 10 in the National League. He's driven in 58. Buster Posey has 59. Big time deception there, 85. And that ball just diving for his second strikeout.
Well, that whole at-bat right there for Jordan was about establishing the outer half of the plate to Marlon Byrd. Once he threw the fastball out there for a strike, and then nibble with the fastball after that. He starts the slider on the outer third. Bird sees fastball, doesn't pick up the rotation, thinks it's another two-seamer away, and commits. So nicely done, good sequence, setting up that strike three slider to Marlon Byrd.
Facing left-hander Ike Davis now. Nats in the division this year, 19-21 against the East. And just a home and home with the Mets left after this, the 12th meeting of the year. That's a good fastball to the outside edge. Nice work rate, nice rhythm here. Mercedes-Benz will track strike two.
And everything low in the strike zone, too. Hey, look at that pitch right there. Good frame by Ramos. So Ike Davis looking for something away. Got something on the inner half.
He'll take the changeup.
I mean, all the national publicity that Taylor Jordan has been getting for the shutdown this year has just been spectacular, right? They're shutting them down. 121 innings right now in a pennant race. Have you heard?
They are?
Mike Rizzo having to answer all these questions about the Taylor Jordan shutdown this year. It's just been crazy.
Media circus.
Yeah.
Right side, Rendon. 2 outs.
You talk about probably about 150 innings. He's post Tommy John, and he's getting close to his innings limit. And funny how you haven't heard a whole lot about that.
On the heels of Dan Herron yesterday, and I asked Dan this morning what was the best thing about yesterday's outing from a pure pitching standpoint. He didn't get too technical. You know, fastball was here, splitter was there, blah, blah, blah. He said, I kept the ball down all day. And he said, I just can't throw my fastball up in the zone and expect to get away with it. And yesterday he kept it down beautifully. Easy fly ball, Jason Worth, 6 in a row for Taylor Jordan to start today. Worth to lead off.
He was nice. You just talked about him keeping the ball down the zone. I sat down there real close to the action, Carp, and the Mets were swinging at Dan Herron's fastball yesterday like it was 97 miles an hour. It was between 89, 90, occasional 91. But based on the off-speed, the location of the pitch, for whatever reason, sitting that close, it looked like it was 95 miles an hour, even though the scoreboard was saying 90. And it feels good to get back in the win column for Dan Herron. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, it has been a while. You just want to feel like you're a part of the staff. You're contributing, and you're contributing to success. Now they got the rookie Jordan going today. Nats will have some pretty good pitchers lined up for the start of that trip to Detroit and Milwaukee in terms of the big three. So this becomes an important one. Every game's important for the Nationals now. But, boy, if Taylor Jordan can get one today, you're in good shape for the trip. Carlos Torres, 10 pitches, 7 strikes, first inning.
And it wasn't so much just sitting that close to the action with the Dan Herron fastball looking crisp yesterday. It was the swings that the Mets were taking at it to where they were tardy all day long on the heat. You look up at the scoreboard thinking you're going to see 95, and it said 89, 90.
That's at the knees to start the second. Jason Worth hitting .366 this month. Having a great July. Second in RBIs, on base percentage, OPS, you name it. He's up around the top 2 or 3 in the league. And that one goes to Omar Quintanilla to start the bottom of the second. And on behalf of Major League Baseball, we salute all of Cooperstown on its Hall of Fame weekend. Congrats to this year's award winners and to the National Baseball Hall of Fame inductees and their families.
No players this year, right?
Nobody got voted in.
That's no fun.
Bet Tim McCarver's having a fun weekend.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
Congrats to our Fox colleague, Tim, who's worked at a high level for many years. He was a Mets broadcaster for many, many seasons.
Ford C. Frick Award winner, Tim McCarver. Congratulations.
I think he's the second analyst to win it. Tony Kubek the other. That ball hit well by Desmond to the gap in right center. That's going to hit right at the base of the scoreboard. Ian was in full motor around first base in case that ball wasn't covered, but Lagares got to it. And Ian Desmond has his 44th extra base hit.
But once you see that thing's going to split the gap, Ian Desmond thinking 3 all the way, waiting for some kind of kick off the wall. But watch him stay inside of this cutter. Good approach, going the other way, got a pitch down and in and rode it to the wall in right center field. And when he came around second, Carp, you called it. He hit another gear. And the reason you do this as a base runner is right here you're thinking 3, and you're looking for a bobble. As soon as he fields it cleanly, you pull up.
Next up, Denard Span.
Span very aggressive, hitting 7th all of a sudden. He's not afraid to offer at that first pitch. And we talked about it, Carp, first time in Miami, to where when you get out of that leadoff spot, now you're just another hitter. You don't have that responsibility of seeing pitches, getting on base, letting your teammates see pitches. Feeling like you have to get a rally going every time you're up. And now you're just another hitter in the lineup. And see the numbers on Span, 308 average. Since he's been hitting 7th in his first home run of the year last year. And he's been hacking.
Yeah, got it over the 15-foot wall out there to the right of the scoreboard.
Saw 4 pitches yesterday, total. And here it is, check it in. Denard Span, first home run of the year, got him. Pitch on the inner half, just gets out of here in right center field. A lot more aggressive, hitting 7th.
Most hits in the majors without going deep, exactly 100. It was his 24th career home run. And that's our AT&T fact of the game.
Got into a heated baseball discussion with my good friend Amanda Comack from the Washington Times before the game today about leading off. And her point was, well, you only lead off once. Why wouldn't you be aggressive, you know, your second, third, 4th times up? And I said, well, there's a responsibility that goes with being a leadoff hitter. It's where I hit my whole career, to where your numbers at the end of the year are based on getting on base and scoring runs. And you feel a certain responsibility, whether it's your first time up, your second time up, or your third time up, to get on base and to score runs. So you always have that mindset as a leadoff hitter that that's first and foremost. Priority number 1 is to get on base.
That ball is well struck to the other side. Desmond was retreating with the ball in front of him, which is the right thing to do. And he still got to third base. First and third, 1 out.
And then I ended the conversation by saying, I'm right, you're wrong. I'll see you after the game.
Well, I can feel her. I know how she feels on that one.
And look at the swing from Span. Quintanilla playing a little bit too much up the middle. Probably playing there because of the cutter from Carlos Torres. A pitch that runs into lefties. He's playing him to pull, and Span does a nice job of getting inside of that ball and going the other way.
And one more point about leadoff guys. You may only truly lead off once, but you're hitting behind the pitcher every time you come up, or late in the game, a pinch hitter for that spot.
Yeah, you're right. It's a good point. It's just that responsibility that goes with it, regardless of if you're actually leading off an inning or not. It's just more of a mindset.
Wow.
And I felt like at times, Carp, that leading off a game, I was a sacrificial lamb, meaning I had to go up there and see pitches for the rest of my teammates. And even if I grounded out to second base and saw 6 or 7 pitches, that I was doing my job.
Wilson Ramos 1 for 6 in the series. Big cut. And he was trying to make it 3-0 right there. Inside the numbers with STG Inc. And Wilson has always hurt the Mets. So look at that, minimum of 50 at-bats, highest of any hitter in terms of average and slugging percentage. Something about the blue and orange just gets him going.
Buffalo taking over Manhattan.
It could happen.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes. Ramos, 16 games off the DL, hitting .309. Span on the year, 10 out of 14 stealing. And an important at bat here, number 8 spot, pitcher next. Chance to break on top, even if you make a productive out. That is productive. Into the gap. Span's going to stop as Marlon Byrd gets to it in a hurry. Washington on top. And Wilson Ramos checks in with RBI number 19. Something about him against the Mets.
Something about him being able to hit, period, no matter who it's against. You look at the cutter right there, backing up from Torres. And how about the game plan hitting right here for the Nationals this inning, going the other way? First it was Denard Span, or Ian Desmond, then Denard Span, and now Wilson Ramos. All staying inside the baseball, all driving it the other way.
And Taylor Jordan could move 2 runners to scoring position here. Well, I tell you, Ike Davis, he came down the line, then cut to his right, and would almost end up in front of the pitcher for a quick throw to third base if that's where it's bunted. Trent Jewett visiting with his hitter. You would, of course, want the bunt to go toward the third baseman and make Josh Satin handle it.
We got good speed on second. Just get it down and keep it away from Mike Davis, who's right in Taylor Jordan's face.
Yeah, he's going Keith Hernandez here with the charge. And then he saw something, retreated a step or two, and then after the visit by Jewett, Jordan's swinging away. Two strikes. Davis convinced. That's a little bit outside. He'd set up about 55 feet from home plate. Started coming in again. I've had a lot of people tell me, though, that Keith Hernandez was the best ever from that side of the infield. Left-handed thrower, getting the ball and getting that force out at third.
I'd throw a guy like JT Snow in there.
Yeah. That's really good. It's amazing to me how sometime pitchers make brilliant bunts with 2 strikes.
Well, it's to the point of if you have a good base runner out there with speed, it doesn't have to be a good bunt. And this really wasn't a good bunt. The only thing good about it is he got it in play with 2 strikes, but he smoked it right back at Carlos Torres. But because you have speed on second base and Denard Span, it doesn't have to be a good bunt. Just get it down. I mean, if you don't have speed at second, that's a force out at third every time. Nice job getting it down and setting the stage for Bryce Harper. So much easier to bunt when you have speedy base runners out there. It doesn't matter what it looks like.
Harper goes up swinging off to the left. Bryce, a couple of RBIs in this series on the home run yesterday. I think it's telling that Bryce's last 2 homers have been right up the middle of the ballpark. Up high, counts even, 1-1.
Well, you can even see on that check swing how Bryce Harper's really fighting to get his hands inside the baseball so he can put the ball in play and try to score Span and Ramos with the base hit. And he's really just kind of, you see his approach right now. It's to the other side. His first move is clearing the hips, getting his hands inside.
High breaking ball. Backdoor variety, 2-2.
That's 78 miles an hour. The curveball right here from Torres. Top of the zone. Got the strike call, but that's not where you want a curveball to be up like that. Those go a long way.
Right-handed rookie batter on deck.
Be surprised if this was a fastball, and I'd be surprised if it was a strike.
Agreed. First base open, 2 outs, a run home. The Nats on top. Harper, left field. It is dropping. Here comes Ramos, and he will rumble home. The Nats lead 3-0 as Bryce Harper has driven in 4 in this series.
Well, you can't sneak a piece of cheese by a rat, and it was a fastball, and it was maybe a strike. Bryce Harper gets on top of it. Look at him fight to get on top of that baseball, drive it the other way. And Wilson Ramos almost got deked by John Buck right here. He put the big-time decoy on him. Watch Buck. Just kind of stand there, throw's not coming, and he tried to put the tag on him. Ramos didn't slide. Bryce Harper with a big 2-out knock to put the Nats up 3-0.
2-run single, second on the throw, and maybe the Nats aren't done yet. Here's Rendon. Daniel Murphy knows he needs to hang around the bag because Harper could swipe third. When Murphy retreats, there's about 30-35 feet between that second base bag and either the shortstop or the second baseman. Getting to third with 2 outs, not that big of a deal, but if they give it to him, he might take it. Rendon hits it sharply and to his left. Good play by Josh Satin. But a big inning for the Nats. It all started with the Desmond 1-out double. 3 singles later, 3-0. Jordan to work with. He's retired 6 in a row. We go top third. AFCEA, the association for global security professionals. And Julie has our sideline report. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. I had a chance to catch up with Adam LaRoche earlier today, and I asked him what the importance was of this game, this last game in the series against the Mets. And he said, well, every game is important, but right now, this is when we have to play do or die baseball. He said every game from here on out, this is when it really counts. You cannot go into September 9 or 10 games behind. He said, of course, every game is big, but this is the time when you really got to push it. He said, you got to strike that balance between being intense and still staying relaxed. And if the music, guys, that they've been playing in the clubhouse recently has any indication of that, Bob Marley, and today in the batting cages, none other than Miss Britney Spears. Come on. Keeping it fun.
Well, you know, who's real big on that is Rick Shue, the new hitting coach. He put some speakers in the batting cage, and whenever somebody's hitting, he tries to put on the type of music they like. So when Adam LaRoche is hitting, he puts on country. Kurt Suzuki's pitching, he puts on some tropical Hawaiian music. So not only a hitting coach, a DJ, Rick Shue.
I wonder who chose Britney Spears.
But you know why, though? I mean, to get a little bit deeper, hitting's about relaxation. And at the highest level, if you can be relaxed, your athletic ability takes over. When you're tight, you have a tendency to squeeze the sawdust out of the bat. And part of Rick Shue's deal is all about mechanics and approach and what you're looking for in a certain at-bat, but a lot of it is about relaxation, and music can play a big role in that.
Omar Quintanilla, the shortstop. 8th Met to bat. Carlos Torres, the pitcher, next. And in my quest for some Sunday afternoon relaxation, I just requested some Enya be put into my headset.
Nice.
Interesting stuff.
Just don't fall asleep on me.
Too much to do. 2 balls, no strikes to Quintanilla. 1 for 6, couple of walks in this series, and hitting .223. He's 0 for 4 against Taylor Jordan. Very late for that 93. Nissan will track it.
I just kind of ran out of bat right here as this sinker moves away from Quintanilla.
Look at that action on the changeup. A beauty. And another. He is doing some pitching right now. 3rd strikeout, 1 in each inning, 8 in a row.
Yeah, a couple of good changeups right here from Jordan. First a fastball away for strike 1, then strike 2 and 3. Changeups. A little outside on pitch track, but he definitely hit Wilson Ramos's glove and hit a spot to get the called third.
That'll bring in Carlos Torres, the pitcher, with 2 outs. He's 3 for 13 career. 1 for 4 this year. And he'll hit one to right. Jason Worth always plays pitchers shallow over there when they're right-handed batters. And 3 great innings by Taylor Jordan. 3's the big number right now.
Daily departures between DC and New York. Book now at Amtrak.com. 3-0 Nats heading to the bottom of the third. Taylor Jordan has been spectacular. But how about the offense with the 3-run second inning? Everybody going the other way. First Ian Desmond and Denard Span. Wilson Ramos go the other way. And I think Taylor Jordan just realized the importance of helping yourself as a pitcher by getting this bunt down with 2 strikes. It set the stage for Bryce Harper for whatever reason, got a 3-2 fastball with first base open and 2 outs and a struggling Anthony Rendon on deck to drive in those 2 runs that Taylor Jordan did a nice job of putting into scoring position for Bryce.
3-4-5 for the Nats, bottom of the third. Visit Kia.com, learn why Kia is one of the fastest growing car brands in America. So Ryan Zimmerman at home, Mr. Walkoff himself, LaRoche, taking care of right-handers pretty well. And Jason Worth in a lot of categories having a great July. How about the sound of that double to left field? Ball buries itself at the base of the wall, and Ryan Zimmerman is 2 for 2. He's now 6 for 14 in this series.
Now watch the top hand of Ryan Zimmerman. It's something I've noticed lately. Watch him roll those wrists and get on top of the baseball. And this is something that I've seen the last couple of days to where he's really rolling the wrists after contact. You see the perfect barrel of the baseball right there and getting on top of that ball, right it down the left field corner for a leadoff double. Switch to 100% fiber optic Verizon Fios and supercharge your internet speeds.
Adam LaRoche fly ball to left first time. Runner at second forces the left side of the Mets infield to stay home more than they usually do against Adam. Quintanilla right behind the runner. Josh Satin at 25 feet off the line at third. And LaRoche will flare this one to left for Eric Young. First out.
You know, when you really think about throwing that top hand as a hitter, that's when you can get to the fastball and you can get on top of high pitches. Barry Bonds used to do a drill in the cage to where you would throw him soft toss from right in front of him and he wouldn't have a bat in his hand. It's all he would do is take his top hand and catch the baseball with it, kind of moving that top hand into the zone and catch the ball with his bare hand. That was emphasizing to him that he really wanted to get a throw of that top hand to get that barrel in the strike zone. And Ryan Zimmerman, who about 2-3 weeks ago was having trouble getting to the fastball, all of a sudden is getting to every single one with that top hand. And everybody talks about throwing that bottom hand in the zone, but when you really think about that top hand coming through, that's what gets the barrel to the baseball. And you see the throw of it right after contact to where he's rolling the wrist and really focusing on that top hand getting in the strike zone.
Ball bounces. John Buck keeps it close. Worth ducks in case there's a throw to third. And the count's 1-1. Nats know they're going to have to be pretty good with the bats the next few days. Facing Anibal Sanchez and Justin Verlander in that 2-game series at Comerica Park. 2-1. Big day already for Ian Desmond with that double igniting a 3-run rally. Off speed. Top of the zone, evidently got the corner.
There's an old saying in baseball, never complain about a curveball up for a strike, because that's not where the pitcher wanted it, and those go a long way. Jason Worth didn't.
That's a breaking ball that almost put Zimmerman on third base. Buck had to pick it on ball 4 after Jason Worth his 29th walk of the year. The Nats again 2 men aboard with 1 out. Ian Desmond had a nice afternoon yesterday. 1 for 3. Big fly.
16th home run of the year for Desmond, and it wasn't a cheapie. Red seats all the way. I like the new look, by the way. Old school stirrups. Pants around the knees. Got the baggies going. It's a good look. If you're going to go with the pants high, I like the stirrups. Go with the old school stirrups.
And Desmond goes up hacking.
And for you kids at home that have no idea about stirrups, the high part goes in the back and the low part goes in the front. See, those are the newfangled soccer socks that everybody wears that Ryan has on at second base. And those are the bell bottoms on deck that everybody's wearing now.
Slider hit the other way, base hit. Zimmerman around third. Trent Jewett sends him. Marlon Byrd has 6 assists, but not that time. And the Nats lead 4-0. Good reaction by Zimmerman and a great call by Trent Jewett to get him home.
Well, a good read of the speed of the baseball by Trent Jewett. It wasn't hit hard by Desmond, just perfectly placed between first and second. Once again going the other way. This time it looked like a curveball down, and Trent Jewett just waving Ryan Zimmerman home. You knew it was going to be close. And because of the secondary lead and the hard work before the pitch by Ryan, it enables him to score. See Denard Span directing traffic back there. That's what you're supposed to do as an on-deck hitter. Run up to the plate and tell the guy to slide or not. Nice send by Trent Jewett.
First and second, 1 out again. Here's Span. And if you're wondering why Worth maybe didn't go to third on that throw, Omar Quintanilla just for a split second acted like a throw was coming, freezing Worth at second base.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing missing from Trent Jewett at third base, a lunch pail. Maybe a thermos. That's a guy that checks in early every day and checks out late every day. Blue-collar guy, great baseball man, and like we always say, he's going to be a good big league manager someday. Guys love him.
Span base hit the other way first time. The Nats have out-hit the Mets 7-0. It's a high strike. Ian Desmond, perfect day. Zimmerman, perfect day. Through 2 at-bats. Stringing hits together in this inning, a walk in between. Up the middle, another base hit. Here comes Worth. And because Lagares, who has 7 assists, was playing shallow, Trent Jewett holds Jason Worth. So he's made 2 good calls at third base this inning.
Well, he's got a great arm, too. And he was cheating in on Denard Span. But how about the game plan hitting here as a ball club by the Nationals? I think Ryan Zimmerman might have been the only one that pulled the baseball so far. Look at Span going up the middle. He and Desmond went the other way twice. Denard Span technically went the other way twice. And here comes the Buffalo, Wilson Ramos.
Dan Worthen, longtime pitching coach on Terry Collins' staff here in a bases loaded 1-out situation. And Ramos could make it huge. Sammy Hagar is coming to the Nats live stage Thursday, August 29th after the Nats play a night game against the Marlins. Game tickets start at $10. Go to nationals.com/Nats Live. Party into the night. Free post-game concert. You must have a valid game ticket. That night, some restrictions apply. Ramos takes it outside. Mets bullpen getting busy. It's only the third inning.
Well, there's only one way to rock. And that will be in the front row for Sammy Hagar, the Red Rocker.
So rumors of a Santangelo mosh pit have been over-exaggerated?
There'll be no mosh pit.
1 ball, 1 strike.
I'll just have my mullet wig on in the front row.
Bases loaded, 1 out in a 4-0 game. 1-1 pitch. No problem taking that. Now, you mentioned his last start, Torres. He got 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 run against the Braves, but they hit the ball hard all day. Ramos, left field, heading for the bullpen. See you later. It's a grand slam, and the Nationals lead 8. Count them, 8-0. Sounds like the fans want to see some wildlife.
They do. I see the buffalo on the top step, and there he is.
Five RBIs for Wilson today. Jordan goes up and hacks, and the count's 1-1. 2-1 pitch this was.
Inner half, barrel to the baseball, hands inside of it. And as soon as he hit it, you knew it was a grand salami.
8 runs on 9 hits.
And check out how he slides his hands into that slot. Barrel comes last. Tons of torque in that swing. Big man hit it into the Mets bullpen. And when you watch the video today of Carlos Torres, I told you, I said this suits up for a big day for the Nats offense. And so far you can see it. 2 1/3, 8 runs. And I guess you could call a Buffalo grand slam a stampede, right?
Desmond, Zimmerman, Ramos, 3 slams this year. Second strikeout of the day for Carlos Torres. That's okay. Taylor Jordan needs to go take a breather and work as long as he can now with a big lead. Top of the order, Bryce Harper. Nats have hit 99 home runs this year.
Well, the approach all day long has been great from the Nationals offense. It seems to be like the game plan has been to go the other way. But if you're going to make a mistake and your hands are in the right slot, you'll pull the ball naturally. And that's what happened with Wilson Ramos. You see the reaction in the background. And offense, as we said in the open, is starting to heat up.
Harper trying to pull that outside pitch. In the third inning, 8 Nats bats, 5 score. 4 of them on 1 swing. Desmond an RBI, and then 2 swings later, Wilson Ramos. He now has 6 homers on the year, 23 RBIs. He's knocking them in bunches lately. we honor our wounded warriors, those who fight hard at great personal risk to defend our freedom. It's our DynCorp International Troop Recognition. At DynCorp, we serve today for a better tomorrow. Not a bad day for the battery so far. Catcher's perfect. Pitcher not bad either. Top of the fourth inning. The Mets will send up Young, Satin, and Murphy in an 8-0 ball game.
We also had that graphic in the open when the Nats score so many runs. What did it say when they score 8 runs? What's the record?
It better be pretty good. The record when leading 8-0 after the third inning is pretty good.
2-0.
So 37 pitches, 23 strikes for Taylor Jordan. Eric Young flied to left to start the game. Little note on Wilson Ramos, his second career 5 RBI game. Just too bad it took him all of 24 days to do it again after he did it on the 4th of July. Had a pretty good month doing that. 1 ball and 2 strikes now as Jordan keeps throwing strikes.
You have 2 5 RBI days in a month? That's spectacular.
Yeah. And a ball to left. Here comes Harper. Can't get there. And the Mets have their first base hit by the leadoff man in the 4th inning. That'll bring in Josh Satin, the third baseman.
Good swing by Eric Young Jr. Did a nice job of staying inside of that ball.
Sixth major league start. 0-3 record. ERA good enough to have a win or 2 by now. And that ball out of play off to the right. The count's even 1-1.
I think when you have a big lead like Taylor has right now, it's about pitching the same way as you would if it was 0-0. Meaning you just don't lay fastballs in there. You still have to throw the fastball, be aggressive with the fastball, but get to all your pitches, stay ahead in the count, don't change a thing.
Two balls, 1 strike. As many runs of support today as he got total in his first 5 big league starts. And they're not done. Two one pitch. Young a short lead. That looked like a commitment. That's a swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Josh Satin.
And check it out. Did he go? You make the call.
Rake 2.
That's exactly what Max Scherzer said last night for the Tigers. That big lead they had against the Phillies, about how he had to get to all of his pitches still, even with a big lead, and how sometimes that's hard for a pitcher to do. But you have to stay aggressive with the fastball, still hit your spots, and still try to tell yourself it's a 0-0 game.
And he leads the major leagues with 15 wins. Got him! Delayed call by Vic Carapazza. Thought about it for a second. Satin walks away, and he's pretty close to getting tossed. He will leave just in time. He's been called out twice.
Well, he thought it was down. It's the slider from Jordan. Good frame by Ramos. And like you said, a little delayed call, but according to Pitch Track, it had good height. Josh Satin didn't think so. He can almost read his lips. Say, what am I supposed to do with that?
One out with Daniel Murphy coming in. Terry Collins Ball Club, in decisive fashion, won the first game of this series. All Nats since that first game on Friday afternoon. Excellent performance by Ross Ohlendorf set the tone for the Nats to get the walk-off Zimmerman homer to win it. 3 homers yesterday, a grand slam. Lots of good hitting today. And the 1-0 LaRoche to the bag. A tag needed it short, but the throw a bit offline. And Young runs very well. Adam would have had to throw that ball right over the left shoulder of the runner. He got the out, 2 down.
Well, too much speed. I mean, once you leave your feet right here, the gig is off. So just take the force out right there at first. Once you take that force out, the force is off at second. Would have had to been a tag play, but Young too fast.
That'll bring in Marlon Byrd. Of the 4 Taylor Jordan strikeouts, Bird's the only one swinging, and that was a pitch in the dirt. Ramos tagged him for the first out in the second. Starts him off soft, gets ahead. Hard hit. Rendon off his glove into center, and a run will score. Anthony got to the ball, and Marlon Byrd checks in with his 59th run batted in.
We talk about it all the time. When you're a ground ball pitcher, you're at the mercy of the direction of the ground ball. Marlon Byrd does a nice job right there on a 94-mile-an-hour sinker from Jordan of going back up the middle. It looked like Rendon was there in time. Maybe even overdove that a little bit, hit the heel of his glove and kicked into center.
Kind of a different day. Only 2 ground ball outs, but 4 strikeouts. He's had some good swing and miss stuff, and some other pitches just painting. Ike Davis will break his bat and drop one into right center. 3 hits in the inning. For the achiever in you, PNC Bank with our minor league report. Check in on Billy Burns down there in Potomac. He's 23 years of age from Atlanta. Went to Mercer University. He was a 32nd rounder 2 years ago. Considered one of the best base runners in all of minor league baseball. He is swiping some bags this year and also now has a 22-game hitting streak.
22-game hitting streak?
Can Harrisburg be pretty close in his future?
He's ready. Call him up.
Here's John Buck, fly to right first time. And one footnote on Billy Burns, his first full year last year. He was at Hagerstown He hit 322. Good baseball name, too.
It is.
1-1. Fastball, a little low and away.
I think Billy anything's a good baseball name, right? Billy Martin.
Billy Bean.
Yeah. You still don't hear. Hey, you had a boy. What'd you name him, Billy? You just don't hear that anymore.
Yeah. Billy Ripken would be a lot more famous when it's for the other guy in his family.
Yeah.
Two balls, two strikes, another one right on the edge.
Might have a little cut to it right here at the end, too. Saw a good frame by Ramos. Look at the sequence. I mean, you can run down there and hand them all to Ramos in the same spot like that. All down and away to John Buck. Good block. 57th pitch coming, 65% fastball, 35% slider change.
Runners will be on the move here. A 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. Nats on top, 8-1. Change up on 3-2 with a 7-run lead. Coming up, Rendon, Zimmerman, he's hot, and LaRoche. Teddy, Abe, Tom. Where's George? Well, he wiped out everybody, but when he wiped out Bill, he got a little too close to the wall.
Be careful with the handlebars there, George.
And then Abe would recover and roar to the finish.
I'll tell you what, yesterday there was some big-time collisions in the President's race. I think Abe dove out of the stands, and it was pretty gnarly.
Anarchy, huh?
Yeah.
A call to the bullpen for the Mets, packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. This is Gonzalez Hermen, who takes over after just 3 innings. 59 pitches, 42 strikes. And Carlos Torres hit hard by the Nats. 8 runs on 9 hits. Walked a batter, struck out 2, and he's done. Gonzalez Hermen, 9th inning with a walk to Ian Desmond as they closed out that 11-0 win on Friday afternoon.
But you remember I don't know, about a month or so ago, to when the guys that threw like 88 to 90 were giving the Nats fits. The guys with the 6 earned run average were giving the offense fits. They did today what they were supposed to do. And you get a guy out there leaving the ball over the plate, your major league hitters. They all had a good game plan against Torres to let the ball get deep and go the other way. And you see the results. It's game plan hitting.
Planning and execution on display today. Rendon, Zimmerman, LaRoche, bottom of the 4th. Ryan Zimmerman, Adam LaRoche, the one-hitter due up in this inning, and might get to Worth. They both grounded out against her men. Friday afternoon, Desmond had the walk. And then Span flew out against him. So the Nats getting their second look at him. Gonzalez Hermen from La Domana of the Dominican Republic. 25 years of age. They list him at 6'2", 202. His 6th year as a professional pitcher. And the 0-2. Fastball rides up.
Yeah, 3-pitch guy, fastball, slider, change. Fastball averages 93. There's a lot of change-ups to lefties.
84, diving down and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Only one other ball game in the division right now in the National League, and that's the Marlins leading the Pirates 3-2 at home in the 7th. The Mets are heading to Miami after this, while the Nats will have a day off tomorrow, and they'll go to Detroit, and that's a base hit. Anthony Rendon needed that first hit of this series in 11 at bats, and it breaks up an 0 for 11 overall for him. And he's been hitting the ball but at people lately, and he gets a break right through the hole there. That's 10 Washington hits.
Well, that's part of exploding onto the scene like Rendon did. I mean, you're going to get your knocks initially, then the league is going to adjust to you, then you have to readjust to what their adjustment was, and if that makes any sense, that's how you stay in the major leagues. You have to keep adjusting, and it's a series-by-series adjustment based on advanced scouting, teams watching you and having a game plan for you when you face them.
A flare to center that hit off the glove of Juan Lagares, and then a double, I mean a ringing double down the left field line. Ryan Zimmerman's 2 for 2 today. Batting average back up to 280. That's on the corner.
There are those occasions, though, throughout the season where you have a big series against somebody and you step in the box against the next team and they're pitching you the exact same way, and you're like, really? Did they just see what I did against the last team that was here?
Zimmerman 3 for 3. How about the sound of that one? Crack echoing around the ballpark. And Ryan Zimmerman's on some kind of roll. 3 at bats in 4 innings. All 3 hits.
And just going down to get that one, but you watch the roll of the wrist there at the end of the swing, getting it out front and finding a hole. A couple infield singles that'll relax you, and then you start getting solid hits, and that's what Ryan's done here today.
Adam LaRoche twice to left field with fly balls, 0 for 2. Having a tough series, hitless in 12 at bats. But that's okay. The rest of the offense is perking along, and Adam will get it going here shortly.
And it's all about timing with LaRoche to when that foot comes forward, he catches it out front. That little rhythm move he does. And his timing is right. He carry a ball club for a while. Right now, just a little bit late.
Counts even on a ball in on his hands. Nice grab and a souvenir for a youngster. Well done, sir.
Uh-oh, you might have a fight on your hands now.
Uh-oh.
1 ball, 2 kids. That could be trouble. All right, you take it for a while. Now she's upset. He wants to throw it.
That ball hugs the line and goes foul. I think it was maybe 2 years ago when we had the little girl in Philadelphia who went from upper deck to lower with the souvenir her daddy had just handed her. Saturdays and Sundays, families have a great time. Souvenir ball or not, because of the Harris Teeter Family Fun Pack. Get a ticket, hot dog, chips, and a drink, starting at just $19. Available online only at nationals.com/family.
Man, he's still got that baseball. I don't think his sister's getting it back. And she doesn't look too happy at all. She's like, Dad gave me the ball, and why does he have it?
She might be heading for the team store shortly.
Yeah.
One and two to LaRoche. Reaches for one. Mets trying to turn two. That'll be done quickly by the hands of Omar Quintanilla. 4-6-3. Rendon to third base, 2 outs. 3 o'clock hour here at Nationals Park. A long ball game because of all the Washington offense so far. But a good one to watch for the Nats as they lead it 8-1.
No feuds there. Fan squared.
Worth 0 for 1, walk and a run scored. Took a little bit off that slide piece, 84 downstairs. Worth unable to get it. Counts even 1-1. Jason Worth over his last 47 games coming into this one. 31 RBIs, 22 walks, 11 homers, and hitting just under .330. He's been the guy who kind of kept the offense afloat for a good part of this homestand.
And basically put it on his back.
One and two the count. And Worth will drive in a run. Nationals get that run from the Mets right back. And just continue to swing the bats beautifully here today.
Another 2-out RBI for the Nationals. Bryce Harper with a big 2-out hit today for a couple of RBIs. And you talk about rolling that top hand, same way with Jason Worth, digging out that slow off-speed pitch, staying through it.
And by the way, that RBI makes him #1 in Major League Baseball this month with 21. Just ahead of Brandon Phillips.
The player of the month coming, maybe. He's got the numbers.
On base percentage, .443 for the month. 7 home runs. Hitting .366. Ian Desmond, double, single, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Inside the numbers, STG Inc. takes us there. So the most RBIs in this month. I think Josh Willingham had a couple of grand slams in Milwaukee to help out his month back in 09. Ryan Zimmerman all over every list there is for this ball club. And Worth on the board with 21. Good ID by Ian Desmond. Works the count to 3-1.
All right, got a couple hits on the day. Get yourself a pitch, let it ride. Ian Desmond never gets cheated, especially though in a 3-1 count.
So an off-speed pitch had him almost doing the splits.
That's where you got to swing when you work that hard to get to a 3-1 count. Get in a count. You're thinking about doing some serious damage, but just a little bit out in front. Kind of lost his balance on the backswing.
Three-two, Worth inching off, and as he was almost starting towards second base already, Herman stepped off. When Ike Davis retreated, Worth just kept on walking. Desmond takes the walk. 4 more base runners this inning. Second walk the Nats have been given today.
Last 2 or 3 games, Ian Desmond has shown a lot more patience up there while still being aggressive. He's getting into more counts, seeing more pitches, and drawing a few more walks.
So Zimmerman's 3 for 3. Desmond's on base 3 times with a walk and 2 hits. Span and Ramos 2 for 2. And today, the Nats batting .700 with runners in scoring position. First of all, 10 at-bats in any game with runners in that position, a lot, and they've converted. That's on the corner to Span, who's gone left field and up the middle for his 2 hits.
Well, I'll say this, if they finish the season strong, obviously they're going to have something to do with the playoff picture, but if they do get into the playoffs, it'll be on a sprint, not like last year where they kind of limped in. And you would like their chances.
Playing well at the right time. I think the last 3 world champions have shared that. Actually, 2 teams winning 3 championships. Giants, Cardinals, Giants again. At times, Herman has a very good changeup. 0-2. Long inning. So the Mets pitchers have thrown 84 pitches in 3 2/3. And Denard Span up the middle again, 3 for 3. Here comes Worth. No throw. And they've got Desmond trapped between second and third. He'll be tagged out. And then Josh Satin tumbles over him. But the Nats get a run as Denard Span becomes the latest 2-run inning. Denard drives another in. ballpark and these smiles, enjoying a great day at the ballpark. DentaQuest provides affordable dental coverage for priceless smiles and reminds you to ask your broker about DentaQuest, especially a guy who's driven in a couple of runs. It's all Nats, 13 hits, 10-1. Top of the 5th inning coming up. We check in with Julie.
Hey guys, well, I've gotten a lot of questions from fans regarding what is the tattoo on Taylor Jordan's right forearm. It is actually a Hawaiian fish hook, which signifies good luck. He and a few buddies all have the exact same tattoo. He happens to be an avid fisherman. He spent the All-Star break fishing in Florida with his girlfriend. When he was a kid, he got hit with a fish hook he took a fish hook to the cheek. He said it didn't go all the way in, but it definitely grazed him, but it didn't scare him. It didn't turn him off to fishing. He likes to fish as much as he can when he's not playing baseball.
Nice. I think all of us have had a fish hook at various times in fingers, hands, arms, and hopefully no higher. But good hobby, gets him out, and Taylor Jordan doing a good job today. Top of the 5th inning here. Bottom 3 coming up.
Guy with a hook on his arm throws a slider, not a curveball. Go figure.
Not a bad fastball and changeup combination either. They look a lot alike. Juan Lagares, fly ball to left first time. Quintanilla after him. This one to center, and Denard Span just kind of cruises in for it. Good pitch count, by the way, for Taylor. Averaging only 14 pitches per inning through the first 4. Beautiful day at the ballpark. Nats will be gone for a week, but only 5 games. Off day tomorrow, 2 in Detroit, off day Thursday, 3 in Milwaukee. And we talked about that homestand coming up. Braves, Phillies, Giants. 2 off days during the homestand. 9 games. Several hitters have been trying to get to that fastball up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Quintanilla caught looking first time.
Well, it's 10-1, and you're thinking this game's over, and the Nats are probably thinking the same thing. But if you're Taylor Jordan right now, this inning has a whole different dynamic to it, because if you get through this, you qualify for your first major league win.
Yeah, he told me the other day it felt good to get almost 8 innings in. He, if you remember, started getting hit a little bit in that 8th inning, and he said, I was actually surprised Davey left me in as long as he did. But he'd like to go 7, 8 or beyond. I mean, young guys take a lot of pride in the innings they pitch and the success they have.
Well, Davey will let you go. Ross Ohlendorf the other night was absolutely on fumes. His fastball went from 95 to 87 and was throwing what he called some hard changeups up there at the end, but he was out of gas.
Then he gets David Wright for his last out on a pop-up.
I'll tell you what, that's my favorite game of the season by far. He fired me up big time, and I'm sure he did a lot of fans at home, and I know he definitely fired up 24 other guys in his dugout. That was awesome.
The Nats will see some serious pitching in Detroit Tuesday, and the Nats have some of their own to throw at the Tigers. Strasburg, Anibal Sanchez, who the Nats beat earlier this year, first time ever. Gio and Justin Verlander in a day game at 1:05 on Wednesday. Then an off day and 3 in Milwaukee for the weekend. Ramos, a remarkable try, and he got his glove on that bunt off the bat of the pitcher, Herman.
What an effort right there by Wilson Ramos in a 10-1 game. Watch him out of the crouch, find the baseball, and sell out right there to try to make the play, and the fans still clapping in approval for the hustle and the effort by Wilson Ramos. What a great shot right there, guys. Are you kidding me? That's awesome. Helmet flying, grass flying, coming right at you in your living room. Good stuff.
Fastball for a strike.
Buffaloes take divots, too. You should see the grass over by the on-deck circle. Yep. It's a hustle mark right there.
Yeah. Something you'll never see between Wilson Ramos and a baseball is a shallow skid mark. No balls, 2 strikes. He's going all out.
Yeah, he didn't put the landing gear down there for sure.
Strikeout number 6 for Taylor Jordan. 2 outs here in the 5th. Nissan will track it low.
A slider down away for strike 3. He's doing a nice job of throwing that to the glove side his last 2 starts with a lot of break. If you remember his first couple of starts, the slider was just okay. It's been above average last 2 or 3 starts for Jordan.
Eric Young, base hit last time, flared 1 to left. Has scored the Mets' only run today. He's 1 for 2. And 2 balls, no strikes.
Did a nice job to start the game. Went 3-0 to Eric Young. Came back and got him. He finds himself in the same position here. Went 3-0 to 3-2 to a fly ball to left.
And he walked him on 4. 2 on, 2 out with Josh Satin coming up. First walk of the day. Bring a group to the ballpark. The more folks, the more fun, and the bigger the savings. For company outings, birthday parties, family reunions, any event you can think of. To check out group opportunities, go to nationals.com/groups.
He's gotten Josh Satin twice today looking, and Satin, a guy that we've seen be a really tough out.
Continues to pound that outside corner and getting that call from Vic Carapazza.
Anytime as a major league hitter you have words with an umpire in the previous at-bat, regardless of what is said, you better be swinging. They can make life really rough on you.
No balls, 2 strikes. Trying to close out an inning here with a big lead to get 5. And that's close. Satin made an offer, pulled the bat back.
I believe the slider is the pitch he's gotten Satin with twice, down away. At least last time for sure, and he's trying to go right back to it in a 2-strike count.
Ball 2.
Well, that was the quick pitch from Taylor Jordan, where he'll come set and kind of slide step with the runner on second base. See him do that occasionally, to where he just kind of rushes his delivery to the plate and tries to surprise the hitter. All of a sudden, the tempo here has come to a screeching halt.
Yeah, thinking the same thing. He has really slowed it down with men on base here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Satin will slap it on a plate to the right side.
Maybe he's thinking about that last out in the 5th.
You'd rather not face that man with anybody on base. Even with a big lead, things could change in a hurry with Daniel Murphy. And a fastball away. Well, then the top of the 5th inning. Wilson Ramos will lead off the bottom of the 5th. Coming right at you. And with the bat, 2 for 2, 5 RBIs today. Total effort.
By Mercedes-Benz of Arlington and Mercedes-Benz of Alexandria. 10-1 Nationals going to the bottom of the 5th. Taylor Jordan's been good. He and Desmond a couple of base hits, but today it's been about the Buffalo Soldier, Wilson Ramos. First time up, base hit to right. Staying inside the ball, nice. That scored Ian Desmond. Then going deep, big fly to left center field. Watch him fight to get his hands inside of that baseball. And once he did, the rest was history. So Wilson Ramos, a little curtain call. Having a big day here on a Sunday at Nats Park. With the dirty uni and everything. Nice.
Batting average from 282 up to 295. Still at that stage of the season where his numbers change. He's at 105 at bats now. He goes up hacking and fouls one. Ramos, Jordan, Harper, bottom 5 for Washington.
Buffalo loose in Manhattan. 470, 803 slugging percentage. Highest versus Mets all time with a minimum of 50 at bats.
King Kong did less damage. No balls, 1 strike. Fastball up, and he foul tipped it into the mid of John Buck.
Maybe you can help me with my whole Mr. Met thing. Okay.
We back to that?
No, I'm just. If I'm ask anybody for help, it's the Met killer in the box right now. Hey, Wilson.
You know what? The baseball looks like Mr. Met's head to him right now.
It does.
He'll pull that slider over to the left side, Josh Satin. I think Wilson needs a breather anyway. Go take a seat. Nats have walked a couple of times today, 285 times this year, over $14,000. From Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield to the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Washington, D.C., $50 for every walk. Take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Go for a walk. Here's Taylor Jordan. Fastball rides in there. He has sacrificed and struck out.
A sacrifice bunt in the second might have been the sneaky play of the game.
Well, he had swung away once in that at bat and then laid down a nice bunt with 2 outs, or rather 2 strikes to move a runner for the second out. And then Bryce Harper drove them both in. That made a 1-0 game times 3, so that was big. Then the Nats came out and pounded their way to 5 runs on 4 hits and a walk in the third.
It's good for a young pitcher to see the importance of a sacrifice bunt and how it can help you.
And he has 2 hits in 10 major league at bats as well.
I mean, you know it, but until you see it, when you get it done, you see the guy behind you that drives in the runs, especially when the guy behind you is Bryce Harper. How important are the pitcher's bunts right now when you have Bryce leading off?
Chopper left side, cut off by Satin, dropped by Satin.
Not as smooth as Satin.
Exactly. Slots, tables, and dining, the ultimate triple play. Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Most home runs before turning 21. Now Bryce will have a birthday this October. Took a step forward yesterday, and he said 2 in the last couple of days.
Yeah, that one was loud off of Dylan G yesterday. Left center field. Just to the right of the E in attitude, and Bryce Harper with the I love you sign to the family. 15th home run.
So the error on Satin. 1 on, 1 out, and here's Harper. Long day for a manager and his pitching coach. If you weren't with us earlier, Steve McCatty is not with the Nationals today. Not feeling well, had to leave the ballpark. And he's on our minds. We hope all's well. We'll pass along anything we might hear. But we would be proud of the way Taylor Jordan's handling himself right now. And we're in the bottom of the 5th with the Nats on top big. I asked Randy Knorr this morning about the other day when Davey was ejected protecting Ian Desmond in that ball game. And Randy told me that when Davey gets ejected, he goes right up to the office. There is no communication between the office and the dugout. He said, Randy, this game is yours. You know, Randy made that decision later about Soriano. He said, it varies from manager to manager, and he understands that Clint Hurdle had the same thing going on the other side when he got tossed. So managers just turning it over to their bench coaches and say the rest of the game is yours.
That's what a good manager does.
Delegates, huh?
Well, yeah, that's why the bench coach is there.
But Randy told me there are some ball clubs where it's not necessarily that way.
I.e. Bobby Valentine with eye black mustache.
Harper pops it up left field. Eric Young started back and now coming in has it for the second out.
He got a pitch he thought he should handle. Fastball outer half, kind of cut across it. A little frustration, and that happens when you get a good pitch and miss it. Just goes to show you how intense he is every at-bat, regardless of the score.
Will serve him well for a long time. Rendon 1 for 3. Anthony got a base hit through the third base shortstop hole last time. Well, things have fallen apart for the Phillies again. They were in a 3-3 ball game with the Tigers. It's the 6th inning now. It's 11-3 Detroit. Nats will be flying over there tomorrow late afternoon.
Phillies kicking the ball all over the place today, and they are staring their 8th loss in a row. Square in the eye. Goodness.
Rendon puts a charge into one. Deep center. Lagares back, and he has it right at the wall. Anthony Rendon making a bid for his 5th big league home run. Catching, diving, hitting a grand slam, driving in runs, taking curtain call, all in a Sunday's work for Wilson Ramos. Mets box hits in only 2 innings. Nothing till the 4th. RBI by Marlon Byrd on a hot shot off of Anthony Rendon's diving glove back in the 4th inning, the only New York run. 77 pitches, 48 strikes through 5 for Taylor Jordan.
I'll tell you what, as a player in a day game, clouds are your best friend.
Yeah, sun peeking back behind the clouds now. Outfielders love it.
See the ball better at the plate. You see the ball better off the bat, even if you're an infielder when it's cloudy in a day game. Take all that glare out of it.
Up and away to Murphy. Daniel has lined out hard to Harper and then bounced out to LaRoche. Big series, 7 for 15. Up the middle, Rendon to his right, tough play, wheels and fires, and he got it on target for Adam LaRoche.
Are you kidding me?
Outstanding range and finish.
How quick did he get rid of that ball, and how much did he have on it? I mean, it's just a blind throw. He's going to catch this ball and wing it to LaRoche without even looking. It's right on the money, and Murphy can run. Look at that play by Anthony Rendon. Good stretch by LaRoche, but the play right here, get rid of it quick, throw it as hard as you can. Unbelievable play by the Nats second baseman. Watch him pick up the target and just wing this thing sidearm going into left field with something on it. Nice play.
Flashing some of that shortstop third base arm, huh?
Yeah.
That ball driven by Marlon Byrd to the scoreboard. Little bang right off the Philadelphia-Detroit score. And Worth gets it back in. Marlon Byrd 2 for 3.
I mean, just watch Marlon Byrd's approach in the season he's having. Now, you feel like his days as a Met are numbered. That's a bat that can help a ball club in a pennant race for sure.
Yeah, good defensive guy. 6 outfield assists this year, which might mean that they run on him, and he's thrown some out.
That's going to do it for Taylor Jordan. Looks like Davy Johnson going to the pen.
Either that or he makes the pitching coach and managerial visits today. We were wondering about that earlier. Craig Stammen is just now creeping his way up the hill. He's not really throwing. Well, right now he's going to put his foot up against the rubber for the first time after playing some quick catch.
80 pitches right now for Jordan. 50 strikes, 30 balls, and good call, Carp. That was a pitching coach visit by Davy Johnson just to make sure that his right-hander was okay. Jumped the gun a little bit right there, but that's exactly what it was.
I was hoping they'd let Jim Lett come in from the bullpen and make the visit to give him a little camera time. In his starts, Jordan's gone 84, 83, 89, 73, 99. I was just kind of glad Davey remembered he didn't have to pull him when he went out there.
It was just a reflex by me. When the skipper goes out, he makes a move. I think of a couple of times.
Yeah.
The last 2.5 years to where he's gone out there just to see how his pitcher was. I'd say 99% of the time he goes out, he's going to the pen.
Ike Davis, 1 for 2. Flared one out to right center last time up. Two and one. Marlon Byrd, 4 hits in the series, 2 RBIs. He's at second base with 1 out. It's a great fastball to the outside corner. Counts even 2-2. Mercedes-Benz will track it.
87 miles an hour here on the two-seam fastball from Jordan. So take a little off to get a strike. Could be that BP fastball we were talking about the other day.
Certainly was that speed. And that ball is outside third on 93 up and in. Mid-Atlantic Sports Report is back tomorrow, 5 to 7, 2-hour edition. Tom Davis, Dave Johnson, Mel Antonin, and Phil Wood recapping this series, the entire homestand, and a preview of the upcoming Detroit-Milwaukee trip. Mid-Atlantic Sports Report, 5 to 7, Masson tomorrow. A ways to go for a season high, the 99 we mentioned last time out against the Pirates. That ball driven to center. Span, though, back for it. He makes everything look pretty simple out there. 2 outs.
Even when he doesn't get a good jump or he's fooled by the swing on occasion, you don't see it very often. He was a little bit right there. Just right at his feet. Took a good route to the ball, got rid of it quick.
That'll bring in John Buck. He has slide to right and struck out. Had him reaching on that one for a pop-up. Desmond out. Makes it look simple. It was not an easy play. Guys were playing deep for a home run hitter. Zimmerman, perfect today. Single, 2 singles, a double. He's next. Ramos, the grand slam, 13 hits and a 10-1 win. Not to be forgotten the fact that 2 departments are working together here, the pitching staff doing its part too. And maybe in about an hour we talk about a first major league win for somebody.
Well, you would hope so. I mean, Taylor Jordan's been nice out there today, especially getting those runs, maybe able to relax a little bit. But even from the first inning, I think the key was the first hitter of the game, Eric Young Jr., 3-0 count back to a 3-2 count and got the out. You walk him, you never know what happens. So he settled down nicely in the offense. Good game plan hitting, going the other way, and that cutter. So, yeah, good day so far at the yard.
Wilson Ramos, most dangerous number 8 hitter in the National League right now? I mean, who is tougher to deal with right before the pitcher than a guy like that?
Well, yeah, and it's the worst place to hit in the order, but Wilson Ramos has somehow figured it out. He's still getting pitches to hit, and he's still figuring a way to do some damage. So, yeah, nobody wants to hit 8th, especially a guy with power, but Davey Johnson having confidence in Wilson Ramos to leave him in that spot, and he succeeded nicely.
Terry Collins with the double switch. Marlon Byrd out, Andrew Brown in right, and David Aardsma is the pitcher. This veteran making a name for himself with the Mets. He's done a nice job out of their bullpen. He faces Ryan Zimmerman, starting his 21st appearance, and Ryan now batting .282 on a 3-for-3 day. Ryan all locked up on that one. This is actually Aardsma's first appearance of this series. He's been up to warm up. Ryan Zimmerman is 0 for 1 against him. Now the sun coming back out, and a swing and a miss on a pitch away.
And he'll go fastball, slider, split. Those are the 3 pitches that Ryan Zimmerman and the Nats will see from Aardsma. And the fastball averaging 91. 2008 with the Red Sox, that fastball averaged almost 95 miles an hour. And when he was drafted by the Giants, he could hit triple digits.
Zimmerman out to left center, and the ball placed almost perfectly. Lagares, who's got great wheels, runs it down.
Just a little bit too much hang time right there. On a soft liner left center off the bat of Ryan Zimmer. You see him rolling those wrists again. And that created a little bit more backspin, and that ball stayed up in the air just a hair too long. As Juan Lagares comes from the right center field gap all the way over to the left center field gap to make the backhanded running catch. Nice play.
Adam LaRoche. 4-6-3 double play ball last time. Adam hitless today.
Everybody else is checked in. He is looking to join the party right here.
Well, this is one box score. You can just look at it and enjoy. 2 hitters with 3-hit days. 4 hitters with multi-hit ball games. They've been outstanding. LaRoche slaps it up the middle, and Ardsma makes a nifty grab, 2 outs.
Did he catch that behind his back? Let's check it out. Pretty hot shot off the bat of Adam LaRoche, yeah.
On a short hop.
That is a great play, David Ardsma. You should have saw it. Watch this. No idea. I'm just going to put the glove back there. Hope it goes in. And it does. Sticks the landing.
Gave him a backward star for that one.
Yeah.
Bases empty, 2 outs. Jason Worth, the hitter. 2 runs, a walk, an RBI single.
And the best part about that play from Ardsma was maybe not the play itself, but the facial expression on the Exmo. Almost like he was bracing for the ball to hit him, or bracing for pain, or not even knowing what was going on the reactionary play.
Tough to get these Nats 1-2-3 today. It hasn't happened yet. And Worth is on base for the 3rd time.
Yeah, let's check out Ardsma one more time. And the facial expression. Don't watch the glove play. Watch his face. He knows it's coming at him. Of course, this is an Exmo. And it just goes right into his glove.
Yeah.
Almost like he thought I was going to hit him in the back, and it gets his glove.
Then you have to act like you really expected to do that.
Oh, yeah, I meant to do that. I've been working on that all year.
And Worth with a big secondary lead, but he goes back as John Buck kept it pretty close. The fact that Craig Stammen is still throwing would indicate that Taylor Jordan's done after 87 pitches. Craig got up when they had a runner at second base. Davey made a visit. That'll be in there on the inner half to Ian Desmond, who's been perfect. Double, RBI, single, walk, 2 runs scored.
And he's been patient. Looking for his pitch.
On a perfect day at Nationals Park, it's 10-1 in the bottom of the 6th. He is taking some healthy rips. Denard Spence had a great day. 3 for 3. Hasn't pulled the ball yet. Well, the Mets have already made 2 outstanding defensive plays to get outs in this inning. Worth has a hit. Desmond looking dangerous. And that bounces, and that gets way away from John Buck, who just a moment ago realized where it was. Heading back near the Nats on deck circle. So Jason Worth to second base, 2 outs.
I don't know if you saw that shot right there and you're wondering why Buck hustled over there, got the ball, and just threw it in the Nats dugout. Time was called once he secured the baseball. Looked kind of funny right there. Grabbed it, picked it up, and threw it in the Nats dugout.
Desmond, was that a swing? Evidently not. I'm a little surprised the Mets don't appeal. And the ball goes back to the barrier again, and Jason Worth is at third base.
So if you go by the way the last 2 pitches have gone,
it's about to be 11-1.
Yeah, Ian Desmond should take this 3-2 pitch, and it's 11-1. Look at the raindrops right there in the Exmo. Yep, 10-1. That's what you get from your analyst. Look at the raindrops on the Exmo.
I had no idea it was raining.
It's been drizzling a little bit this inning.
Desmond drives it up the middle, and it is 11-1.
That might very well be the hardest hit ball of the season. You cannot hit a line drive any harder than Ian Desmond just did for his 3rd hit of the day. I mean, Juan Lagares could have thought about throwing him out at first base on this. He hit it so hard. Look at that inside-out rotation going right back up the middle. Watch how hard this ball's hit. 1 hop to Lagares, and he was thinking about throwing it to first. Goodness. That ball was scorched.
In the dirt to Denard Span, who's been perfect. Offense
is cool.
Flying high today. 15 hits. And Span, right center field. He wouldn't do it 2 days in a row, would he? That ball is gone. And the guy who's been leading off all year, no homers in 100 at-bats, has a 2-game home run streak. And both of them healthy shots over the scoreboard.
Ian Desmond taking Denard Span's helmet off with authority. Just like this swing from Denard Span with authority. Look where that pitch was. John Buck is going to the dirt to backhand it. And Denard Span, cricket style, hits his 2nd home run in as many days. 2nd home run of the season. Take his helmet off, Ian. Nice.
3-run inning, and it's 13-1.
That's when you run by the manager and say, if you ever lead me off again, I quit.
Yeah, Zimmerman says, welcome to the home run club, big fella. Twice. Ramos in the air, right side. Daniel Murphy under it. Chad Tracy was on deck. Craig Stammen on his way off the bullpen mound, evidently coming in. It's all percolating along for the Nats today.
changeup right there. Very good. But the guy that got a little bit of a lead relaxed and did his thing. So in line for his first Major League win after another solid outing from the Nats' young right-hander.
And their share of strikeouts today from Taylor Jordan, 7 of them. So that's $37 times 7 to the Children's Inn at the National Institutes of Health, thanks to our D.C. area Toyota dealers and Toyota Case for Kids. 13-1, Denard Span goes deep for the second day in a row. Roger Bernardina on a double switch goes to right field. He'll lead off in the bottom of the 7th. And Craig Stammen will take over. His job to get some outs and get this one over a SAP. 35th appearance, 53 innings, 47 strikeouts. Good running fastball just inside 1-1. 7 strikeouts, by the way, for Jordan. Most for him in his young career. Two and one.
You know who the happiest guy in the ballpark might be? The new hitting coach. 13 runs, 16 hits.
Economical. Ball base hit, slapped to the right side by Juan Lagares. His first hit since he had the big night.
Carp, I was watching
big afternoon here Friday.
Excuse me, I was watching these replays during the break, and I'm trying to think of a lower pitch that I've ever seen somebody hit a home run on. Look where this ball is. And the angle of the buck going to the backhand, and watch the swing by Span. The bat is almost vertical when he makes contact. And I'm thinking of guys that have hit home runs on pitches like that. Good low ball hitters. And the first thing that comes to mind is Vladimir Guerrero hitting a ball like that out of the ballpark. But, I mean, that pitch was almost in the dirt. And Denard Span hit it out of the ballpark. Unbelievable.
And that's usually common to left-handers. That's what makes Vladimir such an unusual hitter. And he got the sweet spot down there, didn't he? That's what they call dropping the bat head.
It's almost like a golf shot. Bill Mickelson would have been proud of that home run.
And a ball to left off the bat of Quintanilla. Will be the next hitter. Came in on a double switch. 4 o'clock in Washington, D.C. And here at Nationals Park, the Nats are trying to win their 31st home game of the year, their 52nd game overall, and get back to within 2 of 500 before that trip to Detroit and Milwaukee. If you were coming off a bad weekend and you were going to Detroit to see Anibal Sanchez and Justin Verlander, things would really look bleak. But there's a total change in atmosphere around here since about 7 o'clock Friday evening.
Now you're Davey Johnson. You're saying, bring him on.
Yeah. Anibal who? Well, we know who he is. But the Nats did beat him earlier this year when the Tigers were here. First time they had ever beaten him in his big league career. And I looked at some stats today. The Tigers are still far and away leading the American League in hitting, 279 as a team. And Miguel Cabrera is just ridiculous at 361. 37 points ahead in the batting race.
He's kind of jacked up right now, though. Got a hip flexor going on. Played for the first time last night. Shockingly hit a bomb his first at bat.
He's 5 home runs from the Triple Crown because Chris Davis has him 37 to 32. But he leads in average and RBIs. So the Nats and the Tigers on Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon. Eric Young Jr. next. 1-on-1 out here in the 7th.
What does one do on an off day in Detroit? Can you help me with that one, Carp? I'm a National League guy. I haven't been there a whole lot.
Well, we'll be here until about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So
all right.
It'll be Monday evening in Detroit. And the ballpark is just off downtown, near Greektown there. A lot of entertainment opportunities for you.
All right. I'm in.
Strikeout number 1 by Stammen. The first half champion Potomac Nationals back in Woodbridge on Thursday. Ian Desmond poster night coming. The Roger Bernardina Sharkarine figurine. That'd be a lot of traffic going on 395 for that.
Oh, yeah.
And 95. See the future Nats. PotomacNationals.com, 703-590-2311.
Truck is telling me to go to Windsor, and I'm in.
If you go where the truck tells you to go, and it's Windsor, Ontario.
You can do the game on Tuesday by yourself. You'll be fine.
You know the Windsor, Ontario is south of Detroit?
Yeah. Of course, who doesn't?
Yeah. Part of Canada, south of the USA. No balls and 2 strikes. It's our 13-1 material, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I might have to take a trip to Ann Arbor, about 20 minutes away, and check out the big house.
Go genuflect?
Yes.
Put on your maize and blue?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that ballpark, Comerica, they did a nice job with it. Had a chance to play there in Oakland, and it's a wonderful place. The guys that haven't been there on this ball club, they're going to definitely enjoy it.
Yeah. After a year or two, it opened in 2000. After a year or two, they brought in that left field wall that was ridiculously deep. But it's still a pretty good pitcher's park.
Flew out twice to the flagpole there. And the second time, Jason Giambi said, those are home runs in every other park. And I said, thanks. That helps me how tonight? But that flagpole in center used to be in play.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Top of the 7th, top of the order. Eric Young is 1 for 2 with a run scored and a walk. Stammen fouled off again.
Let me tell you, when you're talking about the Nats offense today, this is the first time all season long I saw a bunch of guys doing the same thing at the plate in sort of a team game plan, to where early on they were letting the pitches get deep, everybody going the other way consistently, whether it was or not. It sure looked like it, but a consistent approach to where everybody doing the same thing. And when you could get 8 guys in the lineup all on the same page for a team game plan, whether, hey, today we're going to be really aggressive because this guy's nasty with 2 strikes, or today we're going to see some pitches because this guy has trouble finding the strike zone. And when you get everybody buying into the same plan on a given day, that's how team game plans work. And that's how you're successful on a consistent basis.
Runner goes on a 3-2, and Stammen walks Young.
Well, time for your Cholula flamethrower. Cholula hot sauce, the hot sauce with the iconic wooden cap, available in original flavor. Chili lime, chili garlic, and this one right here, that's Chipotle, 93 miles an hour from Taylor Jordan. They did a nice job all day long of attacking the strike zone with all 3 pitches. Bringing the heat and the flavor.
Yeah, just 1 run on 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, walked 1 batter. Kind of a different day for him. He didn't get the ground ball outs that he normally does.
Well, I think personally the last 2 starts for Taylor Jordan, it's gone from I'm in the big leagues to I'm just pitching now and it's baseball again.
Yeah.
First 2 starts, maybe, even though he won't tell you, he was a little bit amped up. As a rookie, there becomes a certain comfort zone to where, hey, it's just baseball again. The first get here is 40,000 people. You're on TV. There's cameras everywhere. You're facing guys you've only seen on TV. And then you get that certain comfort level to where, all right, My stuff plays, and it's just a game again.
Craig Stammen having a long inning here. He's throwing his 20th pitch in a moment. And a fastball riding in there at 93. Josh Sutton, 3 punch outs today, 0 for 3. Strikeout victim number 1, 4, and 7 by Taylor Jordan.
I'll tell you what, when you struck out 3 times a hitter, there's a certain part of you that just wants to put the ball in play, but then you do it and you feel guilty and start talking to yourself saying, why did I just want to put the ball in play? You're trying to get a hit. I mean, you have to tell yourself you're 0 for 3 and you're looking to salvage the day.
Daniel Murphy, a rare offer today. He's waiting here in the 7th. Outfield around to the right for the right-handed hitting Satin. Low riding fastball, just a foul tip to stay alive.
Satin does not want that 4th punch out, and he is fighting Craig Stammen with everything he has. And he was this close away from 4. Just nixed that ball, and Ramos tried to hang on, but the little redirect hit him in the thumb.
Not a whole lot Ramos could do about that wild pitch. Craig completely overthrowing that one. Lagares over to third. Second base for Eric Young with 2 outs.
Well, this is just a sinker in the dirt from Stammen, 89 miles an hour and about a 58-foot job. And Stammen looking back at the mound, had a little bit of spike that might have caught the dirt. But that did not feel good for Wilson Ramos.
Bases loaded. Got to bring in Daniel Murphy.
The last thing a manager wants to see up by 12 runs are free base runners.
You know, and he made the double switch, indicating that he wanted Craig Stammen maybe to pitch at least 2 innings. Give somebody else maybe an inning of work at the end. And now that Craig is going to be flirting with 30 pitches here in a moment, he might have to go a little deeper into his bullpen today than Davey wants to. Murphy has lined out to left, grounded out twice, pulling the ball. Murphy career against Stammen 3 for 7 with a triple.
Standing struggling to find the strike zone right now, and you just kind of tell the way he's finished. His mechanics are a little bit messed up on the landing, kind of spinning out of there quick, can't find it. And trust me, the last thing he wants to do is walk guys either. It's not like he's trying to do it.
I think one of the things, and Craig and I talked about this the other day, it's been bugging him lately. He just hasn't been throwing the slider for strikes or close enough for guys to think it's a strike before it takes that downward movement. That's a fastball that's flied to left. Harper tracking it. Bryce is there. And the inning is over. Mets will strand 3. They've left 8 today. We arrive at the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Hyundai. New thinking, new possibilities. Brought to you by your local BMW Center and by Kia. Visit Kia.com to learn why Kia is one of the fastest growing car brands in America. Well, the columns of D.C., nothing like it, wherever you go. And a beautiful day. We're heading for Comerica Park, 7 o'clock on Tuesday night against the Tigers. Steven Strasburg and Anibal Sanchez. Sanchez 8-1 career, but the Nats beat him earlier this year. And Strasburg coming off a brilliant performance, but a loss when he gave up 1 run, struck out 12 Pirates in 8 innings. Nats Extra, Johnny and Ray will be in the studio at 6:30 on Tuesday night. We join you from Comerica Park, downtown Detroit at 7. And then it's the Nats and the Tigers.
Check this out, Carp.
Okay.
Last time the Nats won 3 or more games with no starts by the Big Three, September 2011. Chien-Ming Wang, Malone, Detweiler, Lannon, and Peacock. How about that?
And they're all gone.
Well, Detweiler's still here.
I know. He's on the DL, but yeah, that's really interesting. They call that beyond the Big Three. Marlins, Phillies, 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 Phillies. That was that, remember that 4-game sweep at the end of the 2011 season? The Malone, Detweiler, Lannon, and Peacock games were all at Philadelphia after the Nats had beaten the Marlins here behind Chien-Ming Wang.
I thought that was a benchmark series, to be honest with you. I thought it's the time when that team learned how to win on the road. It was late in the season. And it's hard to sweep a team 4 games, especially a team that had 100 wins or went on to win 100 games in the 2011 Phillies. And that team limped into the playoffs big time.
Yep, and never made it out of the first round. Davey Johnson marking his lineup card. because Justin Turner, I thought they might give Daniel Murphy the rest of the day off in a game like this. He's certainly done his part for the Mets all weekend. So Justin Turner at second base. And the new pitcher will be left-hander Josh Edgin, with Bernardino, Harper, and Rendon coming up. Bernardino already in the game as the right fielder. Roger in this series 0 for 2 pinch hitting or on double switches.
Mike Rizzo talking about the trade deadline, trying to find some bench help, maybe from the left side. So all these at-bats for guys off the bench become valuable, even if the score is 13-1.
Bernardino with a high fly ball right over near the barrier and into the seats. MLB.TV celebrating 11 years. HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. You can watch every out-of-market game live on any connected mobile device. Baseball everywhere. MLB.TV. Ian Kroll in the bullpen and Scott Hairston on deck. We might have a spring training game about to break out here. Roger Bernardino unable to do anything with that breaking ball, and he's gone. And Scott Hairston will be the hitter for Bryce Harper. Scott 2 for 5 in his first ball game. Actually got a start as an Nat. He's now 2 for 16 over 9 ball games. And this one's high in the air out to center for Juan Lagares. 2 quick outs. This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals Baseball Club and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Anthony Rendon hanging in there, 1 for 4 today.
Hit the ball hard a couple of times. Base hit in the 4th. Long fly ball straightaway center last time up.
Left-hander Josh Edgin delivers it slow. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mets lefty, 33rd appearance, 4.05 ERA. Not a strikeout guy, 18 Ks in over 27 innings. And Rendon will drive this ball to right, but Andrew Brown's right there. Nats go quickly. Bottom 7. Top of the 8th in a 13-1 Nats lead. Wilson, brought to you by Hyundai. New thinking, new possibilities. You knew it was a car sponsor on that shot, right? Oh, look at those chickens on an open fire. Little ice.
He just tried to barbecue ice. Last time I checked, that is not a good idea.
I think that's how you get the flames to shoot up into the meat.
All right.
So Scott Hairston in left. Steve Lombardozzi will go to second base. Anthony Rendon is going to third, so Ryan Zimmerman gets the rest of the day off. Emphasizing rest. And Ian Kroll will take over here in the 8th inning.
The 19th appearance out of the Nats bullpen for Ian Kroll. 210 average against. And he's done a nice job for Davey Johnson, pound the strike zone, coming in big situations. None bigger than the other day when he had to relieve Rafael Soriano.
So Justin Turner, who just came in on a double switch to play second base, will lead off. Lombardozzi, by the way, for those of you who keep score, and you know who you are, is hitting third. Hairston already in the game in the leadoff spot, and Bernardina down at number 9.
You said it like there's one person at home keeping score.
There's a lot more than that. I saw a bunch of scorebooks at the season ticket holder event on the field yesterday, and I had like 8 people asking me where the team store was so they could get their free copies.
Nice.
I had to shoot them down. Bobby Parnell needs some work.
Free scorebooks, free whiteout, free pencil. The Bob Carpenter scorebook. There it is. Is that a Bob Carpenter version?
No, that's... Ooh, I don't know what that is.
Wow.
That's from a sporting goods store somewhere.
You're such a scorebook elitist. If it's not yours, it's horrible.
Everybody has their own way. It's fun. No. I don't know, some people who make their own.
Well, I think that's the beauty of keeping score. It's just so you can read it.
It's like your own private code.
It is. It doesn't matter what anybody else sees. It's so you can read it and you know what's going on a given day.
That one looks like it weathered a rain delay.
And maybe some coffee spilled on it. But yeah, go to the ballpark, keep score. I love it. My daughter was here for a couple of weeks. She keeps score. I try to keep score every day.
Right into the glove of Ian Kroll on the shortstop side for a hot shot out to start the 8th inning.
See, if you're scoring that at home, you put 1-3, and then I put an exclamation point after it so I know if a ball was hit hard.
Next up, Ike Davis and John Buck.
Good plays. I put stars by.
You go beyond that. You number your stars, right? 2,
Yes.
3, 4.
4 being the best. There's somebody keeping score. Lineup sheet.
Somebody got a copy from the press box on that one.
I love that. I think it comes with the program.
Cool. I remember when I was young, you would go to a big league game. The scorecards would already be printed with the lineups because the lineups were ready early in the day.
Like legit scorecards, though, right?
Yeah, just the the ones you would get with a pencil. A true score card. Would have all the pitchers in the league, all the umpire numbers on it. A few ads to pay for it.
And they would say, get your scorecards here for $1.
That ball slapped off to the left side, Ike Davis. Well, I go back a little further than you did, and they used to be like a quarter.
Really?
Yeah, that was major trauma when the scorecards went to $1. You're kidding me. Great breaking ball by Ian Kroll. Ike Davis frozen on the Nissan pitch track right here.
Now check out the curveball. 79 starts right at Ike Davis and breaks right down the middle for a called third. Looking whole sequence on the inner half, breaking off the curveball nicely right there for strike 3. That is a backwards K, and then you put a little 2 by it for the second out. Your scorebook, though, in the front, doesn't it tell you how to keep score?
Yeah,
gives you ideas.
Yeah, there's a key to keeping score. All the basics, and then you can do it whatever way you want to. I had a guy show me something years ago that I still use. If there's a base hit, I'll draw a little line from home plate out to where it went in the ballpark. And you could go back a week later and see how a guy's using the park, not just, 1B or whatever for a single, but where he hit it. I have found that very useful over the years.
Yeah, that's something I need to do. I just change color pens when the team.
Yeah, because you were a spray hitter. You know the value of that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My big decision on a daily basis is what color pen I'm using.
Often based on the previous day's W or loss.
Yes. You hear me all the time. What color pen am I using today? Trying to change things up. Been known to change in the middle of a game, as have you. There you go.
Yeah, that's the one.
Backwards K right there.
Yeah, that's the one that's in the middle of the little magazine you can get here at the ballpark.
Show the other side. There's a whole lot of runs on it.
And a chopper out to short. Ian Desmond to his left. More scoring and fun at the ballpark. Straight ahead. Hey, you got to have fun when it's a 13-1, as they say, laugher.
To 1 Nationals. We head to the bottom of the 8th, and it's time for our Hyundai drive of the game. New thinking, new possibilities. How about a grand salami from Wilson Ramos? Bases loaded. Stood inside of that ball nice. Rode it out of the ballpark. Third inning to score Jason Worth, Ian Desmond, and Denard Span. So we called it at the time a stampede. The Buffalo having a huge game today here at Nats Park. Nicely done.
Bobby Parnell is the Mets closer, 20 saves on the year. He's had 24 opportunities. He's a right-hander, and we've talked about this before. Great arm, really can bring it. And ever since Billy Wagner left, they've had Francisco Rodriguez there and some other faces and names here and there. But this is the guy they've been kind of waiting on to become that closer they thought he could be because of how hard he throws and some good command.
And the fastball averaging 95 this year for Parnell. Occasional curve to go with it.
So Steve Lombardozzi gets an AB here against Parnell. Breaking ball, great stroke to left field. And Steve Lombardozzi, 3 for 8 in this series. Davey is using him really well, and Lombardozzi is rewarding his manager. LaRoche coming up. You can win a hitting lesson with Ryan Zimmerman. Join Masson's Touch 'em All Rewards. Your chance to win the grand prize. Go to massonsports.com to sign up.
Yeah, that'd be the guy I want a hitting lesson from right now. Ryan Matthews getting loose.
Yeah, and Chad Tracy's on deck. He will get an at-bat because with all the switches that have taken place, the next spot, Worth's, is the pitcher's spot.
Adam LaRoche trying to be that guy. Late to the party guy.
Adam has flied out twice, grounded out twice. And this one flied high to center for Juan Lagares. A rare 0 for 5 for Adam LaRoche today. And Chad Tracy will get an AB. Chad Tracy against Bobby Parnell, 0 for 2 career. Eight pinch hits this year, 2 homers, 3 RBIs. Chad is 6 for his last 14.
Well, when you get a few spot starts as a bench guy, you get in there, get a few hits. You're able to make that adjustment we always talk about, pitch by pitch. When you're a bench guy, you just have one at-bat to show for the whole day. It's tough to make adjustments throughout the course of an at-bat. You get 4 or 5 of them under your belt, then Davey Johnson sends you up there in a big situation. Not that it's ever easy, it's just a little bit easier when you get a few starts.
And that riding fastball fouled off. Parnell, pretty good sinkage on that 94. Chad Tracy is out. 2 down.
Boy, if you didn't know it was a fastball by the velocity, it sure looked like a changeup right there to Tracy. There's a lot of movement on this fastball. Watch this. Kind of getting inside of that pitch, and watch the late dive down and away from Chad Tracy. Almost like a 94-mile-an-hour split.
Ian Desmond, a huge day. 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 batted in, and a walk.
I don't think he swung at a first pitch all day.
And that's blown away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Well, the Marlins won their game at home, beat the Pirates 3-2 today. Phillies hammered at Detroit 12-4. Nats taking care of the Mets here, and the Braves and St. Louis tonight, and Atlanta is trying to sweep that series. That's Shelby Miller and Chris Medlin tonight. Nats with a win would be 8 back. And Davey Johnson's ball club suddenly about to take 3 in a row.
4 out of 5.
Desmond has another hit. And it's another extra base hit. Ball rattles around in the corner. Trent Jewett had stopped Lombardozzi, and his throws go flying around. And Desmond's out at third. Things got a little crazy there. The run did count. So Desmond, I don't know if they'll give him an RBI or not, because Andrew Brown was having trouble with that thing in the corner.
And probably won't give him an RBI. And I think Trent Jewett was holding Steve Lombardozzi up just because of the score. And then when Brown misses it right here, goes around the corner. You watch him hold him up here. You don't want to rub it in, and then I guess you got to go once the ball's rattling around the corner.
No RBI, E9, but it's 14-1. On top 14-1, so they're going to take some high-flying offense to Detroit and hopefully do some damage against those Tigers. Here's Ryan Matthews. He will take over, and on the heels of a couple of innings the other day when it took him a while to get things going, to get that sinker going. He'll get a badly needed inning of work here.
Well, tried to control the adrenaline last time out, first day back in 58 games, and should be a little bit better today, adrenaline-wise.
Infinity has some do-ups for the Mets in the top of the ninth. In this series, Juan Lagares, a hit today. Big day Friday afternoon. Omar Quintanilla, 1 for 3 today. And Andrew Brown, 1 extra base hit.
Someone gave me a heads up to a scorekeeping app on my iPad that's going to absolutely put you out of business, partner.
I don't think so. A lot of people don't want to sit at the game and have to punch up stuff on the phone for 3 hours.
Well,
we'll see.
Might try it.
I would figure after 2.5 years I'd be used to your subtlety, but sometimes it just slaps me in the face. It's like we've got some rain in the area. Capitol looks a little misty from here as this one arrives in the top of the ninth. Rain delay in the 8th inning yesterday, and obviously everybody would like to get this thing over with and just get out of here. including the Mets. But it goes to 3-0 on Lagares. And Ryan Matthews delivers a strike. Tuesday night, Steven Strasburg, Anibal Sanchez at Detroit. Well, he swung at ball 4 and the count's 3-2.
Ryan Matthews very animated in the 14-1 game. He's not happy that he's not throwing strikes.
Yeah, he told me the other day it took him a little while to get a feel for the sinker. That's to shortstop, and even if Desmond gloves it, Lagares would have had a base hit with his speed. So the Mets have their leadoff man on in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, I guess you play the game one way. Ian Desmond going for that ball, selling out in a 14-1 game. And he got up very slowly. And you wonder about that blister on his hand.
Omar Quintanilla. One for 3, 2 for 9 series. Well, it can rain, but it is sunshiny in Taylor Jordan's world right now. Just a little help from his bullpen buddies to get this over with and get that first Major League W. Up the middle, that ball's going to sneak through. Perfectly placed by Quintanilla. And then heading for third is Lagares. So the Mets taking their hacks here. The rain pelting down.
Let's go 5-hole on Ryan Matthews. Quintanilla right back up the middle. Just kind of grazed the left leg for another base hit.
Fernando Abad, if needed. Eric Young is the hitter. Actually, it's Andrew Brown, pardon me. Bottom of the order. Young is next. And there's that hard sinker. Missing inside. That guy will get inside and break some right-handed bats.
Taking cover. Umbrellas out. Grab bags out. It's nice right there. Hold the umbrella for her. See you working.
That breaking ball missed by Ramos. Runner stayed at third, but Quintanilla went to second.
Might have been a strike if he caught it.
Pass ball given. And a short hopper, ball 3.
Well, we talked about it last year with guys coming off the DL this time. I mean, it's tough to shake off the rust at the end of July. The game's moving at a fast speed. Everybody's playing at tip-top condition to where, you know, it's hard to jump on if you're Ryan Matthews right now. But one thing you can control is throwing strikes. You miss that much time, the game's not that easy. It's going to take a minute for him to get back to form.
And the bases are loaded with nobody out.
The thing he's probably struggling with is his ERA is over 6. And Davey Johnson's seen enough. He's already signaled to the bullpen. That's it.
So Matthews faces 3 hitters, 2 hits and a walk. Fernando Abad coming in, 14-1. Here today, 31,467. And 3 outs to get here in the 9th. Fernando Abad will get that call.
A 25th appearance for Abad out of the Nats bullpen. 22 1/3. You see the average against 256, right? He's hitting just 241. So Davey Johnson probably making a pitching change he didn't want to make, up by 13 runs.
Weekend series with the Mets, by the way, draws 136,478. An average of 34,119. Well done, Nats fans.
14 runs for Davey Johnson's squad, a season high, and I have to admit, that was kind of fun saying up by 13 runs. Not gonna lie.
First pitch, pop up. Lombardozzi there, runners all holding. First out, he can just run it in and toss it over to Desmond. So that was Eric Young Jr. Josh Satin is next. Johnny Holliday and Ray Knight. I got the binoculars on the set. They are ready, and the weather not affecting them whatsoever. Johnny's arms out in triumph. He hasn't seen this big of a lead since the basketball season.
A couple of touchdowns. Taylor Jordan a couple outs away from Major League Baseball authenticator guy giving another one. This one's the big one, though. First big league win.
What ball do they give him? The last out of the game?
I don't know.
That's, kind of interesting. Bullpen nails it down, and maybe he gets the last out of the game ball. We'll see.
I don't know. That's a great question. Pitch number 46, I think.
Either that, he gets the strikeout ball from all 7.
Maybe they throw the first pitch out just in case. I don't know. That's a great question.
We'll have to find that out. Josh Satin 0 for 3 with a walk today. Nats trying to win their 52nd game of the year and make it 3 in a row. And Abad going after guys. That's another pop-up. Span coming in. Lagares is the runner, and he's not going anywhere again. That ball skipped off the mound, and Ramos had to go backhand to grab it.
Fernando Abad doing a nice job of just going right after hitters. And a couple of big outs.
And other than David Wright, their last remaining player in the dugout is actually Kirk Neuenhuis, also available. They'll use Anthony Recker here. About to jump into the winner's circle. And Abad gets a strike upstairs, 1-1. Rain has eased off. Looks like it's totally stopped, just a cell passing by. And Abad gets that fastball at the knees. And the curveball low and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. High and tight with that heater. And a ball driven to right. Here comes Bernardino. Game over, series over. And the Nats take 3 out of 4 from the Mets. Taylor Jordan, first major league win, and well-deserved today. He had pitched well enough in previous games to get a win or two, and today it finally happens for him. Great run support by his teammates. The Nats take the series 3 out of 4.